What things affect how well you age? There are lots and lots and lots of factors, but one of the funnest ways to boost your oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, substance P, and overall health span is with kindness to yourself and others. It improves your mood, reduces pain and cardiovascular risk, and helps you live longer and stronger. And the goodness is contagious. You're listening to the Health Courage Collective podcast, episode 268, Kindness Affects How You Age, originally published January 11th, 2023. There's an exclusive group of high-performing women who thrive through perimenopause and beyond and successfully prevent or drastically delay all of the common diseases of aging so they're capable of living and giving more as they get older rather than less. The Health Courage Collective podcast is for you if you're ready to become one of them. I'm so happy you're here. Hello, my friend, and welcome to another Wednesday, or whatever day it is for you. How are you? I hope you've had a great week. How's your liver? I hope you at least took a few minutes to appreciate how amazing yet unsung it is, and remember how one of its biggest protectors is estrogen, because that's almost never recognized in women developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Today, we're going to talk about something that has a significant effect on your health and longevity that is free and freely available to everyone. It has no negative side effects. It doesn't take much time. It's teachable, enjoyable, and often contagious. I'm pretty sure that you're already a very kind person, but I also hope to present you with some evidence today that consciously looking for kindness opportunities, just a tiny bit more in your days now, will benefit you for years to come. And the proven medical benefits are not insignificant. In my opinion, it should be a real prescription that's handed out way more often. Kindness is both a behavior and a way of being. It's acting friendly, helpful, generous, and considerate without expecting anything in return. We arrive on Earth pre-wired for kindness. I think it's so sweet to observe toddlers being kind. Sometimes they share, but I've noticed that they're very good at trying to comfort someone who's upset. It's so sweet that they naturally do that. I consider myself a pretty good person because I always have good intentions, but I know I miss a lot of opportunities for kindness throughout my day because I'm busy and running from one thing to the next and not really present to the opportunities that I'm sure are there, but I'm oblivious to be a little bit inconvenienced for the greater good. It's for sure something I can and intend to get better at. Kindness alters the chemistry of your body, which is pretty cool. You get more endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin from kindness. Serotonin boosts your mood, endorphins reduce pain, dopamine makes you want to do it again, and oxytocin promotes warmth and connection to other people. This can help lessen feelings of sadness, loneliness, and stress, and it can be contagious, which is awesome. The physiological changes to your brain and mood are so profound and scientifically reproducible that kindness is often incorporated into psychotherapy to help people with serious struggles cope more effectively. Acts of kindness do need to be repeated, though, because the oxytocin and dopamine bursts you get only last a few minutes. The dopamine you get from kindness is sometimes referred to as a helper's high, which I think is kind of cute. Have you ever felt that before? I know I have. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone because it helps bond us together with other people. It's actually pretty cool as a natural and side effect-free treatment for a lot of conditions, including depression, and even applied topically or vaginally for pain and used for wound healing. Having normal to high levels of oxytocin also increases your chance of having a slimmer waistline and better metabolic control, which is kind of cool. Oxytocin is anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. It boosts your immune system, it calms you down and lowers your blood pressure while still helping you focus. Oxytocin encourages the release of nitric oxide, which we learned about way back in episode 9. This is cardioprotective, reduces high blood pressure, helps prevent heart attacks and strokes, and allows better nutrient delivery to your organs and tissues. Oxytocin also improves healing and regeneration. It's pretty fascinating. Researchers are investigating kindness as a treatment for pain, depression, and anxiety. There's a doctor named Dr. Ishak who's evaluating kindness's ability to increase substance P, which is a pain-reducing neuropeptide that also improves gastrointestinal functioning, memory processing, angiogenesis. Do you remember learning about angiogenesis way back in episode 34? Vasodilation, and cell growth. There is also loving kindness meditation, which has been scientifically shown to help with depression and anxiety. If you've never tried it before, you could probably easily find a free guided loving kindness meditation. I'd encourage you to give it a try. I think everyone should try it at least a few times. You zoom up from the earth a little bit, in your mind, of course, and then a little bit more until you feel like an astronaut watching the earth spin from space. A really nice, kind astronaut. I mean, that's fun, right? A study at the University of British Columbia showed that participating in acts of kindness reduces social anxiety and increases joy, interest, and alertness. Loving kindness helps you have better relationships with everyone in your life, and having better relationships is one of the main things that has been proven to help you live longer and better. One of the main killers of healthy aging is inflammation or inflammaging. It can cause or worsen almost every health problem there is. It reduces your immune function and contributes to obesity, diabetes, cancer, migraines, and of course, chronic pain. If you want to be healthy as you get older, you really need to decrease your inflammation now and keep it down. One study in 1,800 adults aged 57 to 85 years old showed that volunteering was the one activity most strongly associated with lower C-reactive protein, which is a marker of inflammation you can test for in your blood. An article in Psychology Today called What We Get When We Give says that people who volunteer have fewer aches and pains, and helping others is twice as protective against heart disease as taking an aspirin a day. That's pretty interesting. Kindness outperforms aspirin as preventative medicine, and it decreases blood pressure and anxiety. Another thing kindness can do is decrease our cortisol level. If you remember, chronically high cortisol isn't good, and it usually is associated with stress. It prepares you for fight or flight by increasing your blood sugar and fat storage and decreasing your immunity, and can cause acne and constipation and bloating and weak bones and poor sleep and all kinds of other problems if it's chronically elevated. It encourages feelings of isolation and hopelessness. A lot of things in our modern world, especially constant news updates and lack of regular movement and being chronically overworked and underslept, all lead to high cortisol levels. High cortisol levels literally age you faster. For reals. Kindness has been shown to reduce cortisol levels in the blood, relieving all of those stressors on our body and mind, and thus slowing down the speed of aging caused by high cortisol. Pretty great. Dr. Marcy Hall says that while we're born with the capacity for kindness, we also all have the capacity to be unkind and selfish. She advises that we don't think of kindness as a personal quality, but as a practice or a habit, something that you do, not who you are. She didn't say this, but I'm saying this. The Latin root of the word identity means repeated beingness. So if you are repeatedly being kind, your identity is kind person. It's also important, though, to make sure you're not spreading kindness at your own expense, that you're not sacrificing your own needs, comfort, happiness, or personal fulfillment for someone else. You feeling worse doesn't make the world a better place. So if we want to biochemically slow down our aging and boost our mood for free, we need to make looking for opportunities for kindness a habit. If you work with me, we can get you installing and deleting habits like a ninja. It's a very meta skill to have. The quick and dirty overview is that you want to make the thing you want to do obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. How can you make looking for opportunities to be kind more obvious? I think for this situation, at least for me, that's the hardest one. It goes back to me being singularly focused on accomplishing all of the tasks on my list. and by so doing, becoming somewhat oblivious to the world around me. For me, I think what will work the best is to use that slightly perturbed feeling of being inconvenienced as a trigger to actively seek out an opportunity to show kindness. When someone has their shopping cart sticking way out and I can't get past them in the aisle, traffic is slow, the line is moving slowly, someone's talking for way too long, whatever, that will be my cue to look for an opportunity to be kind. I'm going to get annoyed anyway, so I might as well make it a force for good, right? I think kindness is inherently attractive to me, and I hope I've made it more attractive to you from a health and longevity perspective. How could you make kindness more attractive to yourself? How can you make kindness easier? Your act of kindness doesn't need to be donating your kidney to someone. That would be fantastic, but kindness can be smiling at someone, picking up the pen they dropped, letting someone merge in front of you, or complimenting someone's purse. Let it be easy. Keep doing the big things whenever you want, but remember that it can be something that takes literally 1 second. How can you make kindness more satisfying? I hope we get to know each other well enough that you can guess my answer, and that would make me happy, because mine is to complete the kindness by saying to myself, that's like me. What's yours? What makes you feel satisfied with your actions? Can you use that? What if you kept a little kindness journal? Would that make it easier to see the kindnesses you already extend, or be able to more easily recognize opportunities for kindness? Something else really cool about kindness is, you remember all the biochemical benefits you get from being kind? Decreased cortisol, increased serotonin and oxytocin and all that. You get all of that. And the person you're kind toward gets all of that too. So you're not just bringing in their garbage can or paying for their smoothie. You're also positively influencing their physiology too. Pretty cool, right? The receiver gets those biochemical boosts from feeling seen, acknowledged, appreciated, and valued. The receiver's levels don't jump as high as the giver's, but they do get a bump. And even cooler than that is that so does everyone witnessing the kindness, or even anyone who hears the story about it. All the bystanders, employees at the place where you were, or friends and family that see or hear about it also get a biochemical boost. The dopamine makes them want to be part of an interaction like that. So cool. I've felt that for sure. I love watching TV shows like Random Acts or Undercover Boss where they do something nice for someone. I ran a Spartan race in 2023 with my fellow heroic coaches, and the best part for sure was watching and hearing about the help that was freely given between teammates. A 17-year-old carrying a 70-year-old across the finish line. 6 guys staying with one girl the whole race to make sure she got through every obstacle, and saying they were way more proud of their 4-hour finish time than they would have been if they had finished in an hour and a half. Even just cheering each other on, watching other people like you do awesomely kind things makes me want to be better, which is a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, critical and cruel interactions can also be contagious. They can give you a little cortisol boost, which can help fire you up and make you feel more powerful. But remember, chronically high cortisol also ages you faster. It's bad for your blood pressure and heart health and blood sugar and body fat percentage and mental health and bone density and everything. I think one study showed that for every good news story published, there are 17 bad ones, because that's what sells. That's what gets attention, and unfortunately, that's often the contagion passed on from one person to another. But if you can avoid a tiny bit of that vitriol, you'll age a tiny bit more healthfully. If you can replace a great deal of badness with kindness, you'll get even more benefits. We can't control what happens in the world, and I'm not saying we should ignore it or not be outraged about social injustice or anything, but we can absolutely control what inputs we allow into our lives, how much time and attention we give them, and how we behave toward other people. It's one of the few things we can very much control, and the benefits are significant. Something else I love is the idea of doing random acts of kindness for yourself. We all hear that we should be kinder to ourselves than we should. I'm always like, self-care, yeah, okay, take time to take a bubble bath or whatever. That's fine. If that's energizing to you, please do it and tell other people to do it. But I heard someone talk about doing random acts of kindness like the kind you would do for other people, but for yourself. Like your present self does a little random act of kindness for your future self. What's super thoughtful that would make your day if someone did it for you? Make you a healthy lunch? Surprise you with 15 minutes of quiet time so you could read a book in silence? Secretly vacuum your car? Leave you a sweet, encouraging note? Send you a picture of a baby goat? Give you flowers? What could your present self do as an act of kindness toward your future self? Could you leave a little dark chocolate for yourself to find at the end of your workday? Have some good-smelling hand lotion set out as a thank you for finishing the dishes. Leave a thank you note for yourself in your purse. Then you can get the health benefits as both the giver and the receiver. And getting in the habit of being kind to yourself and hooking your future self up with awesomeness are so beneficial. If you set an intention for kindness or a trigger that you'll use as a reminder to look for the opportunity to be kind, you can supplement your body with oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, substance P, and probably a lot of other cool things that we haven't figured out yet. I've been trying out my plan to use annoyance as a reminder to look for an opportunity to show kindness in just the few days since I started writing this episode, and it's been great. So far, I've let someone into traffic, let someone ahead of me in the grocery line, picked up a bunch of paper towel pieces on the women's bathroom floor, and listened with more full attention to someone than I typically would have. I hope you find whatever works best for you to remember to add a little more kindness into your day. Not in a self-sacrificing way, but in a way that edifies everyone involved. Remember, it's a habit, not an inborn way of being. The more reps you do, the easier and more natural it becomes. And it's physiologically good for your health and helps your body and mind live healthier and longer. Like, for reals. I wanted to end with a few ideas I came across as ways to show kindness. Let them generate your own personal ideas and also think about whether present you can do any of them for future you. Share a smile, make a donation, volunteer, hold open the door, pay for the person behind you in line, be specific instead of just saying a generic thank you, send a note to someone, call or text someone just to brighten their day, listen to an older person tell you the same story you've heard a million times before, leave money on a vending machine for someone else to discover, hide money in other random places for people to find, pick up litter, give someone flowers, compliment someone's style, feed someone's parking meter, donate blood, leave a positive review, listen with full presence and no judgment, put a note on someone's lunchbox, leave little Valentines for your family members to find, especially if it's not Valentine's Day. Tell everyone in the group how great one of them is. Seek out and thank a janitor. Celebrate someone's half birthday. Or do a chore that someone else is typically responsible for. I know you can think of way more. You are awesome. I wanted to end with a quote from the Dalai Lama. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Isn't that so good? Next week, we're going to talk about why you wake up at 3 o'clock a.m. and what to do about it. Until then, slow down the aging process with kindness and it'll be normal. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today and caring about how powerfully you're able to show up for the world 20 or 30 years from now. If you found this episode helpful, it would mean the world to me if you share it with a friend and also subscribe to future episodes. The more smart women like you we can have in this community together, the more we can lift and strengthen one another. This podcast is for entertainment and information purposes only. Statements and views on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Christina Hackett and producers, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse effects caused by the use of information contained herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.